Hey Capricorn, it is Meg with Padmes. Oh no. And I'm doing your mid-month love reading for October. How are you doing, Capricorn? Okay. We are calling in our angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light because we don't want to talk to anyone else. And this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or any cross watchers that want to know all about what's going on with Capricorn. This is the mid-month love reading. Angels and guides, what's going on with Capricorn for October 2020? Here we go. Wow, Capricorn, look at all these majors. Ton of major arcana here. Okay, so first off, because there's so many majors, that feels like a real shift or a real turning point for you. Some kind of a big shift. And here we have the King of Wands. This is the big picture. On the big picture, for me, the King of Wands there, this is about how you have, first of all, it might mean that you're feeling under the weather. It might mean you're feeling like, oh, I'm hearing lackadaisical. But geez, Capricorn, when you're lackadaisical, that's other people's 100%. So, but this is for you. And this does have to do with love. So it's like you might be very aware that you have unplugged yourself from a situation, or you're not giving 100% in some type of circumstance, in some type of relationship. So there's that. And here we have you coming from a place of great joy. There's some kind of great joy that's coming here, or that has been in the past. Okay. The heart of the situation is talking about literally some kind of calling that you've had. This can be a spiritual calling. This can be a connection with another soul. And this is a completion of something. This is even a completion of something, like getting to the point of understanding this connection with another soul, and this being a difficult thing to come to the realization of. Going through some hardships, going through some hard situations to get to this place where it's like, whoa, we are connected. There's something going on here. Or even recognizing that you're connected, but that it's still not connected the way you want it to be connected. You might have a connection with somebody that's just going to stay where it is, even though you know it's this deep, deep relationship, this deep heart connection. There's also this understanding that that might not change your outward circumstances. Happening now and into the near future, this is about the need for, wow, I'm hearing self-governing. The need for self-governing. What does that mean? Usually this card for me is about connecting with your higher self, your higher soul, your expanded self. Self-governing. Let's see. Right. This is Capricorn in love here. Self-governing when it comes to what the heart wants. Self-governing in, do I act on what the heart wants, or do I not act on what the heart wants? Or how do I act on what the heart wants? And this just flipped out too. Okay. This very much is about getting connected with the collective consciousness. The part of the universe that holds all of the information that you have access to. What? Okay. So many things falling on the floor. Look at all these kings. Look at all these kings. So here, again, you've got the Ace of Swords, you've got the King of Swords. We're talking about heart, we're talking about energy. You've unplugged some energy from one circumstance. Your heart is singing and talking in this other circumstance. Your mind is going, you're being strategy oriented, you're connecting with the universe, and a need to have some self-governing going on. Okay, Capricorn. So also, there's a release the idea that you don't have lots of different options. You have lots of different options. On one hand, I feel like that means I have lots of options to choose from. On the other hand, it feels like I have lots of options of what it is that I can do about my current situation. So for some of you, it means there are a lot of people around you that are options, a lot of relationships that are around you that are options. And for others of you, it's I have a lot of self-governing options that I need to consider. This is about being an expert at what those are. It's like, you know what those options are. I want to ask more about that too. So what is it about being an expert that's important for you to be aware of right now? That you're the one with the answers, so you're the one who has to make the decision. And your decision is based on you being an expert. I've done this before, or I know all about this, so I'm the one who has to make the decision about this. Nobody can do it for me. I gotta say, Capricorn, your trajectory is talking about things that are hidden. I want to say things that are hidden in the past, but this can also be things that are hidden under the surface right now. This can also be emotional type things. This is also a mother card. There is, for some reason, resistance to not having regret. So it's like almost you're bringing regret upon yourself, or perhaps you have in the past. And that sounds like, first of all, it sounds like self-sabotage, but also it sounds like you're creating patterns so that you are in this state of regret. And I want to know why. And when I ask why, it's showing me the marriage card. What are you having regrets about? Creating a committed foundation, possibly. Your higher self is talking about overcoming anxiety, and your angels and guides are talking about somehow how you have misled yourself. Somehow how you told yourself something because perhaps you wanted it to be true, but that it wasn't the full truth. You like misled yourself somehow, led yourself astray with what your truth is when you actually are an expert at what that truth is. Okay, your advice is the Justice card. It's making things right. And when I say that, I want to be very clear about what that means. Because making things right based on what your truth is one thing. Making things right based on what someone else thinks is correct or right is the other thing, right? So making things right, bringing things into karmic balance with your truth. Important to know what that is. Also, another major arcana coming up here, the Chariot. And the Chariot is reversed. So it's like, this is your advice. It's like, hold on a second, create a challenge for yourself. So whatever that is, how do you want to create a challenge for yourself? This is also about evaluating what a challenge is to you. what do you want to do with the challenge? Do you want to take yourself out energetically, unplug from a challenge? Or does it encourage you? Does a challenge make you want to solve the puzzle? You know, this is about figuring out what a challenge is for you and why that's coming up. Look at it. That's the advice. It's look at it. Bring things into karmic justice, karmic balance, and evaluate challenges. Okay. This is also talking about, you know, this is almost like putting yourself out in the cold, or it's also your advice and it's saying, hey, this is draining yourself of time and energy and effort. Something that's draining you is not necessarily, I mean, that could be a challenge. A challenge sometimes can drain you. I think what I'm feeling here is this worth it? Is this challenge worth the outcome? And it might be, but it also might not. There's some reevaluation here that needs to happen, and you're the one who has to make the decision. But in making that decision, some self-inquiry is important around your truth, not what others think you should do, but what you know is aligned with you. And coming back to that Hierophant reversed happening now and into the near future, this does have to do with, we're talking about self-governing, but also that connection with a higher self. What is your higher self trying to tell you? What is your higher self saying? Your higher self is saying, seriously, at this point, what's the thing that's least aggravating? What is the thing that's going to not cause me all of this anxiety? I need some peace. Okay, so what else is your higher self trying to tell you here? What does your higher self want you to know? Your higher self is talking about independence, your independence. You creating all of your resources and having your resources available to you. Yep. And again, what's coming up is, well, distrustful family dynamics. There's something about the family dynamic that is not trusting the group or not trusting the family. But this is also what's coming up again, is knowing what your truth is independently from a group of people who are looking out for themselves or looking out for the group, not necessarily looking out for what is your aligned truth. That's a doozy, because it's hard not to want to please the people that we love or the family that we love, and maybe you align with that ultimately, what they're wanting, you want as well. There's some inquiry that needs to happen there so you can make that choice and not feel pressured by what you're supposed to do. Okay, past, present, future. Excuse me, Capricorn. In the past, here's the lady, here's the empress, here's the dream girl. In the present, it's like almost kind of settling into the group dynamic, settling into the community, settling into collaboration. And then in the future, we're talking about possibly some secrets, possibly some mother issues coming up. This is also using your intuition, tapping into your intuition in a huge way. Let me know more about that. Yep. Tapping into your intuition about how romantically, there's disconnection romantically, and you're using your intuition to look and inquire about this romantic disconnection. Yep, getting to the truth of it, storming the castle with the truth, getting the information. And if this isn't you getting the information, it's somebody else getting the information about you. So just be aware of that. If you've unplugged and gone on some sort of a trip or some sabbatical or some rendezvous, and other people are wondering where you are or where you've been, like the family or, you know, your group of friends that are like family. Somebody's going to get to the bottom of it. So on one hand, it could be you and you using your intuition to figure this out for yourself, but this is also some hidden things being uncovered. Geesh, Capricorn, that's some stuff. All right. Oh, no, I want this one. So I'm asking your angels and guides, what oracle cards do you need to see for October? What kind of information do you need for October for advice? And this is the one that wants to come up, Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. And 5 is a challenge. So here, your advice is to create a challenge for yourself or to inquire and reevaluate challenges for yourself. And Rhino Spirit is like, you can overcome any obstacle. Of course you can, Capricorn. That is like what you're here to do, is to problem solve and get to the top of the mountain. And you do. All right, we're going to pull one more. And wow, the Nightingale Spirit. This also adds up to 5. So this is also talking about a challenge. And I just do want to just put that out there. This is a love reading. And can you connect if there isn't a challenge? Do you need a challenge in order to connect? I don't know why I want to say that, but that's coming up. And love is all around. I feel like that has a lot to do with this. Let go of the idea that you don't have a lot of options. You do. I think that what this is about, this feels like you have options, lots of options. It's like, what do you want to do? And that's the decision that you have to make. What do you want to do with these options? What is it that you truly want in life? Because this present time settling into a situation seems like it might be causing some kind of disharmony. Figuring out what it is that you really want. I want to ask the Romance Oracle for one card too for you, Cat. Here we go. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. This one wants to come out too. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That is interesting with that heart of the situation, because it's like there's some sort of calling and connection that also feels like it's a difficult challenge somehow, whether that's not being able to come together or be together, or it could be this whole keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and it's just a difficult thing to wrap your head around, but here's your calling around it too. This is very much a release and let go of something, maybe even, you know, those self-imposed limitations of our thoughts and our old stories about who we are. Okay, Capricorn. This has been fascinating. Let me know how this resonates with you in the comments. I'm looking forward to your Tarotscopes for November, and I will see you soon.